Good evening. Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet with Canada's premiers in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan next month amid growing tensions with the West. It'll be the first face-to-face meeting with all the premiers following the Liberals' election win last month. Now, this afternoon, Carney briefly talked to premiers by phone on his recent trip to the White House. Wayne Mantyka has more on what Premier Scott Moe had to say.
Premier Scott Moe will be hosting the Prime Minister and Canada's premiers at a meeting in Saskatoon on June 2nd.
And I think we can provide some relevant advice for some policy direction change for the Prime Minister so that we can, find that common ground.
The Saskatoon meeting follows the Prime Minister's visit at the White House with U.S. President Donald Trump. Mark Carney briefed the premiers by conference call.
Appreciated the debrief after the meeting yesterday. That doesn't always happen. So that communication is good. I was pleased with how the meeting went yesterday. I know, Prime Minister Carney had said don't expect white smoke coming out of the White House. I think many Canadians were happy that there wasn't black smoke coming out of the White House.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford called the upcoming meeting in Saskatoon an olive branch to the West in the interest of uniting Canada.
We just had a great conversation with the Prime Minister and all the premiers. We all congratulated him on his victory, but also congratulated him on how well he did yesterday and the restraint he showed. I don't think I'd have the restraint that he had yesterday, to be very frank.
President Trump reaffirmed his tariffs on Canadian steel and autos during his meeting with the Prime Minister. That concerns Saskatchewan steelworkers who met with government and opposition.
We saw yesterday too, that's the exact same thing that we heard is he doesn't want Canadian steel, doesn't want Canadian automobiles, but hoping that Carney can make a difference.
Steps to address Western alienation comes as Alberta lowers the number of signatures needed to trigger a referendum on questions like separation. Here in Saskatchewan, the NDP has introduced a private member's bill to make a referendum call more difficult.
It stops the Premier and Cabinet from calling a separation referendum without a clear mandate from Saskatchewan voters. It also raises the threshold for citizen petitions on separation specifically, raising that bar from 15% to 30% of eligible voters.
Government is unlikely to support the NDP legislation, saying it doesn't want to stifle the opinion of those who may hold a position different from that of government. Instead, it will focus on improving the relationship with Ottawa, beginning with the meeting in Saskatoon. Wayne Mantyka, CTV News, Regina.